Happening now, a huge milestone unfolding early this morning with a Baltimore Marathon Open swimmer making history this morning, swimming from the Bay Bridge to the Inner Harbor. Megan Gillilland is joining us live right now with more on the process this morning. Megan, up early and out early. Tell us what's going on today.
Well, Taylor, welcome to Sandy Point State Park here this morning, where if it weren't for the moon, you probably wouldn't even see these waters. These waters, though, Taylor, expected to see history here. Just about an hour ago, we watched two boats come down the water right here with Katie Pumphrey on board one of them. At that moment, Katie jumped out of the water, and we have video of it. Actually, let's go ahead and roll it so you can see this happen. She jumps off the boat there, goes on to land, they blow a horn, and she takes off, starting to take those first strokes into the water here. Again, swimming from the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, which is just over my shoulder out here right now, all the way to Baltimore's Inner Harbor here today. It would make history here. The ultra marathon swimmer saying she is doing it to celebrate Baltimore's goal of making the harbor swimmable once again, and it steps towards actually making that happen here. Guys, this is expected to take 12 to 13 hours here this morning for her to complete this journey here. So we're going to be tracking it. We're here at the Bay Bridge now. She's about an hour ahead of us right now. Again, a 24-mile trek. We're going to head down to Downs Park around the corner here and try to catch her in the water up there as the sun comes up and bring you her progress live. She is going to be eating every half hour here to make sure that she's getting enough energy to be able to do this. One rule that is a very important rule in order to make this marathon official, in order to get that check mark that this did happen, she cannot touch anyone or anything. So we'll see what happens here today. Again, this just kicking off around 3:20 this morning. We'll keep you posted along the way as she continues into the Inner Harbor, expected to get there between 3 and 5 later this afternoon. Taylor, what do you think?
I think this is going to be exciting, especially if the sun comes up today, Megan. Thank you so much.
Happening now, marathon open water swimmer Katie Pumphrey is attempting to swim from the Bay Bridge to the Inner Harbor. She left at Sandy Point a little after 3 this morning. The 24-mile swim expected to take between 12 to 14 hours. Of course, Megan Gillilland is out there, and she's been out there. She watched as Pumphrey went into the water and is tracking her and checking on her progress. We'll be checking in with Megan as soon as we can.
5:43, you're watching. Look at that beautiful sunrise. Early edition, all local all morning.
5:46 and happening now, celebrating the milestone of a swimmable Baltimore. One Baltimorean is attempting a history-making 24-mile swim from the Bay Bridge to the Inner Harbor.
Megan Gillilland is joining us live. She's been following Katie Pumphrey since she started at 3 this morning. Megan, how's it going?
Good morning. So far, so good, guys. As we take a look, this is now Downs Park where we are. We're about 30 minutes away from where the start of this race happened. So bear with me. My photographer, Ben's going to do some fancy footwork here and show you the Bay Bridge. It's way far in the distance. That is where we started, about 30 minutes away from where we're standing right now. And as we zoom in closer, you are going to see the two boats that are alongside Katie Pumphrey as she is now attempting to make history here today, swimming 24 miles from the Bay Bridge right behind her there, all the way into Baltimore's Inner Harbor. Pretty incredible as she's making her way through. Guys, as I look at the clock here right now, we are 2 hours and 27 minutes into this swim. We have video of her actually getting ready for this. So go ahead, take a look at this. We sent this back a little while ago. This was just after 3 o'clock this morning as her boats brought her right towards the Bay Bridge. She got out of the water and waited for a horn to be blown. That was the official start of this actual race for her. And then she took off stroke by stroke, and it was dark this morning. If it wasn't for that strawberry moon we had over the weekend, this would have been even darker. Fortunately, that was lighting the way just a little bit for her. Now back here live as the sun starts to come up, things improving, at least clarity for her a little bit this morning. As we look at the map here, guys, she would be, once she gets to us, probably a little under halfway, a little over a third of the way through, little under half of the way through to make it in. This could take 12 to 13 hours, guys, depending on the currents and how she's feeling out there. Every 30 minutes, we know her crew is going to throw some gel packs and some water to keep her going here. We're going to try to stay right here. We've been following her along the way, but we figure if we stay right here, she should get here in the next hour or so, and we'll have a good view of her moving through. Again, Bay Bridge right there, right. Her boat coming up. She's going to come down here, and then it's going to dog leg to the left. and that is going to take her into Baltimore's Inner Harbor, where again expecting her to arrive between 3 and 5 o'clock tonight to make history as the first one. One thing to note, guys, to make this official, an official marathon swim, she cannot touch anyone or anything. That's why she's got the crew to document it and make sure that this is a legal race here. Taking a look at that sunrise here, it looks like it's going to be a warm one for her. We heard the water is still a little chilly out here, but I think that sun, and obviously, you know, swimming 24 miles, that'll warm her up as well. So stay with us. I think, guys, maybe in the next hour she should be passing through this stretch and you'll get a better look, not just a zoomed in fancy footwork one, but a better look of her stroke by stroke on this mission. Tom, Patrice?
That is all very cool. Right. And that sunrise there, she'll have an incredible backdrop to, you know, do that swim against, which is better than that dark water.
Thank you, Megan, for being out there. I was going to ask her about when she leaves, if she's going to be climbing out at Mr. Trash Wheel, is what I believe she has to. Because there's no beach that she could walk out at Mr. Trash Wheel. Right. She's going to have to climb a ladder to get out. That's what I was like. All right, you swim 24 miles, now I got to climb.
And now I got to climb a ladder.
Climb a ladder to get out. Oh, man, yeah.
She's got it. If she can do 24 miles, she's got it.
The ladder's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, she's like, I've got this.
Isn't she doing the English Channel like again, later this year or something?
In fact, when she was in, she's like, oh, the English Channel. She's like, yeah, that's not as long as this. She's like
which is crazy.
That's a warm up.
I know, right? Yeah. So, water temperature at last check, I saw 80 degrees on one of the buoys there.
All right, thank you, Justin. Speaking of the weather, look at this shot right here. Photographer Ben Odd has the full sun as it was coming up over the horizon. And how much we'll feel that? Obviously, Justin was just talking about the temperatures. You're watching Fox 45's Early Edition. We are all local all morning.
It's 5:55 and we're taking a live look over the Inner Harbor. Beautiful start to the morning there. Happening right now, Baltimorean Katie Pumphrey is making an historical swim from the Chesapeake Bay Bridge to the Inner Harbor. In just about 15 minutes, we're going to join Megan Gillilland again. She's going to give us the latest update on how Katie's doing in the water. But she's been following her since she went into the water at 3 a.m. She's got a great vantage point. 6:15 and happening now. A huge milestone is unfolding early this morning. A Baltimore Marathon open water swimmer is looking to make history by swimming from the Bay Bridge all the way to the Inner Harbor.
Megan Gillilland has been watching her as she went into the water and is following her. She's joining us live now, following Katie Pumphrey. She started earlier this morning. How does she look so far, Megan?
She's had great stroke strong. I don't know if you've seen her, but she is built. She is ready for this. She's been training, guys, for years for this particular race for about 1 year, making sure she's ready for this. Now we are about 3 hours into this. Let's take a look at where we are. We've tried to stay put right here. This is Downs State Park here. It's about a 30-minute drive from where we started. Again, bear with us. We're going to zoom in really tight to where this all started here at the Bay Bridge in the distance here. I know we've got a chopper shot as well, so try to take some aerials so you can get a different view of her here. You're going to see 2 boats. That is her crew running alongside with her. There is also a kayak that is going in right next to her as well, making sure she's okay. Every 30 minutes, guys, they throw her a gel pack, they throw her water. She rolls over on her back and tries to eat as much as she can to make sure she has energy to do this 24-mile swim from the Bay Bridge all the way to Baltimore's Inner Harbor. She's doing it, guys. Obviously, she's an ultra marathon swimmer. She loves the athletic feat of it, but she said this is more of a celebration to honor Baltimore's movement and progress in making the harbor swimmable. Once again, she wanted to be part of that effort. So again, we're waiting for her right here to swim by. We want to see how she's looking. Again, 3 hours in. This could be 12 to 13 hours by the time she finishes. Looking to see her in the Inner Harbor between 3 and 5. I heard Tom mentioning about Mr. Trash Wheel. He is expected to be there at the finish line, but she should be able to walk out of the steps out, not the ladder, but the steps. It's going to be at the amphitheater there. So depending on the water level there, hopefully it should be just an easy transition for her up to the end where there should be a crowd cheering. When we left this morning, though, guys, it was Ben, my photographer, and I, and no one else on that beach. It was dark. The moon was out, but that was about the only light that you could see here. No fanfare at the beginning, and that's part of the rules. She's not supposed to be talking and engaging in people before this kicks off. Again, no touching anything or anyone to make this a legal and legit race to go down in the history books here. So we've seen some fishing boats out this morning. It's been a pretty quiet start. We did talk with the fisherman earlier around 1:30 this morning at Sandy Point State Park, and he had said that he's never seen anyone swim in the water, but he does eat the fish out of the water. So he's pretty optimistic that she's going to fare well in this. I know some Baltimoreans have been skeptical about the water and what it'll do to her, but she's feeling pretty confident that things have progressed enough to keep it safe for her. So here we are, Downs Park, waiting for her to go by. As soon as that happens, guys, we're going to go to you live. We're going to station here, and then when she passes, move with her as she rounds out that dog leg just over our shoulder here into the harbor. But Tom, Patrice, this is where we are right now. We'll see what she looks like here. I'm guessing in about 40 minutes or so when she passes this stretch.
Just impressive.
Right.
Impressive. All right, Megan. Thank you.
Of course.
As we're continuing to track location of one Baltimore swimmer, Katie Pumphrey. She's in between those two boats right there, right next to that kayaker. You can see a splash every once in a while right in front of that boat to your right there, and that is her. She's attempting to swim from the Bay Bridge to the Inner Harbor, and we'll be checking in with Megan Gillilland with more on Katie's progress all morning long. 6:28, you're watching Fox 45 Morning News. We're all local all morning. We're continuing to track the location of one Baltimore swimmer, Katie Pumphrey, who's attempting to swim from the Bay Bridge to the Inner Harbor.
That shot.
Yeah, what
Almost
a beautiful
makes
morning.
you want to swim in the harbor.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be swimming for, 12 to 15 hours, but I mean, at least an hour I would go out there for a little while, take over. She can't touch anybody, but you can cheer her along. We're going to be checking in with Megan Gillilland, who is out there watching Katie swim, and she will give us an update on her progress. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News. We're all local, all morning.
So let's check back in with Megan Gillilland, who has been following Katie Pumphrey. This started at 3 a.m., Megan, still going strong as it will be most of today.
Yep, she dove in, Patrice, Tom, at 3:20, so we're now 3 hours and 27 minutes into this swim. We set up shop here. This is Down Park here, and we're really glad we did. It's paying off. We can now see them just ahead here as our photographer zooms in. We've got a shot for you by land here and also by the air from the chopper as well. You can see those two boats. That's her crew alongside of her, and then there is a kayak that is leading her. Katie right behind her. 24-mile swim here, guys, as you mentioned, from the Bay Bridge, which is just over my shoulder here, all the way to Baltimore's Inner Harbor, which kind of, if she goes straight, then it kind of turns to the left right there, and she'll finish in there. 12 to 13 hours is what we're expecting this to take here. We've noticed she's moved a little farther out here. It looks like the water's a little calmer out there, but looking like a pretty good day for her here, guys. She should be passing us here real soon, and then we're going to keep moving as we go, again, by land, by air, and later by sea. We're going to jump on a sailboat later this afternoon as well, and hope to catch her that way as well. Tom, Patrice?
Jump on the boat and head out in the water. All right, thank you. And of course, we're tracking her online too.
She's keeping a steady pace.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to go look close up to see. I mean,
I was swimming yesterday in our pool. I did like 2 or 3 laps, and then I had to stop
And you had
for
to
a
stop.
breath. And I'm like, yeah, all right, that was pretty good. Like, all right, I'm good. Yeah.
yeah, an Olympic swimmer, a marathon swimmer, you are not.
4 minutes. Yep. Just going 14 hours.
Let's get over to meteorologist Justin Chambers, taking a look at the forecast and the type of day she's doing this all in.
A very pleasant day and a very pleasant morning outside for people who are out watching her, maybe even this afternoon heading out to the Inner Harbor to watch her come in and have that victory lap as she makes her way right in here to the Patapsco and the Inner Harbor.
Celebrating the milestone of a swimmable Baltimore, one Baltimorean attempting to make history by swimming 24 miles from the Bay Bridge to the Inner Harbor.
Megan Gillilland is joining us live. She's been following Katie Pumphrey since she started just after 3 this morning. You're excited. She's got to be tired by now, I would think, but can't stop.
She is going strong. We are 3 hours and 58 minutes, guys, and right now we are at Downs Park, right near there in Pasadena. Look at where we started, though. Come over here. Way back in the distance, That is the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. That is where at 3:20 this morning, she got off the boat, ran onto shore, and then the horn blew and she took off into water. Now, exactly 3 hours and 49 minutes from that moment, she is right in front of us here, made it to Pasadena here. You can see the two boats. We've got the chopper overhead giving a different view as well. You've got the kayak in between those boats, guys, and then you see her right next to it. That kayak is the lead boat. That's what guides her, shows her where to go. They were a little farther out earlier. They're coming back in. This is the perfect day for this. Very calm, very quiet. We have not seen a soul out here this morning, just fishermen. If there was not a chopper overhead here, guys, it would be very likely you wouldn't know what was happening out here. It is just looks like two boats in the distance until you zoom in and really see her. Long, smooth strokes here. Again, almost 4 hours into this, that seems absolutely amazing and astonishing. But remember, this is a 12 to 13 hour swim she is embarking on here. It's a 24-mile journey. That means she's about a third of the way through here. We saw her take a stop about 30 minutes ago where it looked like she was refueling. I heard you guys saying every 30 minutes she's going to get those shell packs. They throw her some water. This is a competition for her. That means under official marathon rules, she can't touch anyone or anything to make this legal. Again, 8 hours from now, she's hoping to be making her way into Baltimore's Inner Harbor. Again, where we are right here, started at the Bay Bridge, now in front of us. As we look to the left, right over here in the waterway, this kind of does a dog leg to the left here, and then it goes into Baltimore's Inner Harbor from there. So again, about a third of the way through this race for her right now. She looks good, she looks strong. And we're moving forward here. We're waiting to see her pass through this stretch. Now I think we're going to go to Fort Armistead and see if we can capture her at that vantage point, see if folks are waking up and starting to catch on to what's happening here in our waters, as we could see history, Tom and Patrice, here later this afternoon.
That would be amazing. So Megan, is the only time she takes a break, because every time we see her, she's in the continual stroke. Is the only time she takes a break when she flips over to, on her back to eat for a minute? Or do you ever see her just like, I'm going to doggy pedal for a second and catch my breath?
No, she's been taking the strokes all the way through, but we have seen the boats stop. So when we were down at Sandy Point, we could see when the boats were kind of stopping and she'd, take those little breaks. But otherwise, she's been swimming the entire time, just to the 30-minute breaks to try and refuel. And when we interviewed her last Monday in studio, she mentioned how important that was to get the energy to be able to complete a 24-mile swim.
Good luck. I mean, our fingers are crossed for her to finish, completely break that record.
You think about it, 2.4 open water swim is the same as running a marathon, or it's the same as riding 112 miles on a bike. That's why triathletes do that. Same thing, 2.4 miles. She's going a lot further than that in one day, so multiple marathon runners or swimming all day. It's incredible.
And something neat about her is she has done this before. She's done the English Channel twice, which was a over 20-mile race that she did before. So she mentioned that it's not so much the distance that's a big feat for her, but doing this in these waters to celebrate the harbor being swimmable again as a Baltimore native is what is inspiring her to do this athletic feat.
And that's the whole other part of that, the fact that this is happening in the harbor. And, there are lots of jokes and things about the harbor. So all very interesting. All right, Megan, can't wait to check in again.
See you soon.
Well, happening now, a Maryland-born swimmer is right in the middle of a history-making 24-mile swim from the Bay Bridge to the Inner Harbor.
That's right. Megan Gillilland has been following Katie Pumphrey since 3 a.m. this morning. Talked to her last week. Megan, what is going on now? Where you guys stand?
We are 5 hours and 10 minutes into this swim. We got our drone team out here. We've got Jimmy and Gran that we met up with here. This is Fort Smallwood here. We thought we'd get another angle here to try and see how she's doing as they're giving you the bird's eye view. We'll put up the double screen there, the double boxes, so you can get both shots here. I want to take you down to the water because this, I think, is going to be our next shot of seeing her through the water here. And what you're going to notice, the big change, guys, over the last hour, Look at the water right here. Remember when you saw us down in Pasadena, it was much quieter. Now we're seeing a little rougher water. So what's going to happen here is she's going to come straight up from where we're showing you right now. And then there's some rocks in the distance right over here. She's going to curve that way and then into Baltimore City. You can see the skyline in the distance there. That is then heading into Baltimore's Inner Harbor here, guys. I mentioned we're 5 hours and 16 minutes now into this swim. It seems like a lot. It certainly is a lot, but we're talking 12 to 13 hours for this entire swim here. It's a 24-mile swim. Our drone crew saw her just a little while ago taking a break here. Every 30 minutes, she's going to take those breaks, get the gel packs, get the water, make sure that she is ready to go and has enough energy to finish this. It's an historic swim, but she says it's more than just the athletic feat here, guys. This is about celebrating the progress that Baltimore City has made towards making the city and the harbor rather swimmable. Once again, we've spoken to a lot of people along the water here, many of them saying this water, great. Not so sure about the harbor. So some questioning what that might be like. We're going to actually head towards what you can see in the distance, guys, is what was the Francis Scott Key Bridge. We're going to head over there next, Fort Armistead, and see if we can see her kind of turning that bend for that final stretch, that final leg into the harbor here again, by air, by land, and perhaps even on sea. We might hop on a sailboat later on just to get another idea of how she's doing. But her stroke looks great, guys, here, a little more than a third of the way in. Tom, Taylor?
Yeah, not bad at all. And Megan, we're talking about this is going when you're coming up that major waterway, but it doesn't look like there's much boat activity at all out there with her.
So there was some fishing boats out earlier. That's a good note. We haven't seen any go through, but there's big boats out there in the distance. So some of them passed through, one of them a little while ago, but pretty far away from her. They moved out a lot farther. We thought she was going to kind of hug the shoreline a little bit more, but I think to try and get the calmer water, she moved out. As a result, you know, it's been pretty calm boat-wise as well, other than a few large ones. This one's still that you see over there, that giant one, so she doesn't have to worry about that. But a few still to be cautious of. That kayak that you saw earlier is the thing that's going to be leading her through and making sure she's safe.
That's good.
Wow, this is just a historic moment. I'm just happy we get to watch this happen and like unfold before our eyes. Wow.
Yeah, thank you, Megan.
She's going to do it.
Oh yeah.
Huge milestone unfolding this morning. A Maryland native and open water swimmer looking to make history by swimming from the Bay Bridge to the Inner Harbor as we speak.
It's been amazing to watch all morning. Megan Gillilland is live out there. She's been tracking Katie Pumphrey from the moment she stepped into the water until right now, Megan.
Yeah, guys, 6 hours now. This is about the halfway point. This is Fort Armistead, right by the Key Bridge. You can see over my shoulder. We figure this is about the halfway mark. So we just got here. We were at Fort Smallwood, if you saw us a little while ago. Put this can over here. Now at Fort Armistead again. And she's going to be coming around right here. Again, what we're thinking is about the halfway mark. They're expecting this 24-mile swim, guys, to be 12 to 13 hours here, hitting that 6-hour mark at exactly 9:20 this morning, so about 10 minutes away from that. She looked great. The last time we saw her over at Fort Smallwood, we could see her way off into the distance there. She did just have a break. I know we'd been mentioning every 30 minutes trying to reload, get those gel packs, make sure you're getting hydrated. That's going to be the big thing out there today. This water looking a little better as well. Remember that last half hour when you saw us, it's a little choppy out there. This is a little smoother. I think she picked a pretty good day to avoid a lot of that. There are some big ships out there when she comes into this water. She's going to come from the other side over here as Ben kind of sways over there. You can see where she's going to come around from that little island stretching out there and then through this area. And then through where the Key Bridge once stood, which will be an interesting moment, I'm sure, for her and for that crew as they pass through this section. Still, you know, an eerie sight as you look forward. Once they pass through that side, that is the home stretch. As you then head into the Inner Harbor here, what could be an historic swim here that she is hoping is not just an athletic feat, but something meaningful for the city of Baltimore as it works towards its goal of making the harbor swimmable once again. We've got some fishermen setting up. We'll have to talk with them. But we spoke with a lot of folks as we made our way along the water here, just amazed that she's doing it, not just because of the pollutants that had been in the harbor that many people were worried about, but the metal that could still be in the waters over here. She's got those two boats that we've been showing you that are guiding her, the kayak that is leading her to make sure she's safe. So we're going to stay right here now and wait for her to come. Again, around this area is where we're expecting to see her soon. I think we're going to check in again with you guys in about a half an hour or so. So we'll give you a better idea of if she's going to be going on down that home stretch here soon.
All right.
Patrice, Taylor?
That will be awesome. We're cheering her on from back here.
Yes, she can do it.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Megan.
9:48 and happening now, a huge milestone unfolding this morning. A Maryland native and open water swimmer looking to make history by swimming from the Bay Bridge all the way into the Inner Harbor. Megan Gillilland is joining us live this morning with the progress and the process that it took. Megan, I know you were talking with Katie Pumphrey for the last few days. In fact, last week, I had an interview with her. So you've been talking a little bit more about how she was getting ready for this. How is she doing so far?
Yeah. She's doing great. Tom, we are 6 hours and 28 minutes into this, and here we are at Fort Armistead, where she should be passing here soon. It's my first time seeing the Francis Scott Key Bridge, what's left of it. Just a surreal sight. Heard Jonathan mention, though, about the dolly just being removed yesterday, and now here we are 1 day later talking about a swimmer going through there. You talk about the progress being made here at this site and in the harbor. That is why Katie is out here celebrating the progress that the Inner Harbor has made and making it more swimmable. We think she's right out here, guys, heading this way. That is where we were a little while ago in Pasadena around 6 a.m. Again, about the halfway mark here. She's expected to make it to the Inner Harbor around 3, 4 o'clock here. We're going to have live coverage when that happens and more for you tonight and tomorrow morning as well. She's looking good, Tom. Actually, I think we're going to send it to Justin. And Justin, I think weather conditions.
Well, here I am. They cut off her microphone, but she was probably talking about weather conditions and how that the temperatures are not too bad.
Video of her swim from above as she made her way through the Patapsco River and a map showing her route today. Fox 45's Megan Gillilland has been tracking Pumphrey's swim all day. She joins us live from the harbor now. Yes. Megan, this is just so incredible. Is there lots of cheering and celebrating, I hope?
Cheering, I mean, pirate cannons, and maybe some tears, some emotions among so many people. There's Katie right there. You can see her. She just finished, guys, minutes ago. People yelled, "How are you?" And she said, "Rough. How are you guys?" And just wanted to show her love and support for the people of Baltimore. Guys, this has been 14 hours. We were there when she jumped in at Sandy Point State Park. That was 3:20 this morning. And here we are, time now 5:20, and she has officially touched the wall and made it 24 miles in that time, going from the Bay Bridge to Baltimore's Inner Harbor and in turn making history. And guys, the whole reason she's doing it, the Baltimore native says she wants to share the love, show the love for the Inner Harbor being swimmable once again. We've been talking to folks here. Nathan is actually here with his daughter. What brought you out?
Oh, we wanted to see Katie, and you know, I love seeing the community come together and support this amazing thing. So yeah, we're just out here trying to see some history happen, and congrats, Katie.
Does this inspire you that this water is safe to swim in?
Oh, absolutely. I think me and Sadie here, we're trying to get in. So
she's got her suit on. Are you ready, Sadie?
She's got her flamingo suit on. You ready?
Do you want to go swimming?
No.
Nathan, thank you for talking with us. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And this is just a glimpse here, guys. There is a whole stretch here on the amphitheater here. We've got folks out here. You came out to watch too. What brought you out?
I'm actually visiting from out of town, and it was just a coincidence that this was going on. But I thought it was so cool. I've got to come watch it.
24 miles.
Insane, yeah. That's like a superhuman feat.
Yep.
So she crushed it, and I feel pride for her.
I think that's the one thing, even that an out of towner can feel, is the pride in the city and these boats leading her in.
Yeah, I caught a glimpse over there, and I wasn't gonna come all the way to the finish. Then I'm like, I have to go to the finish, and I booked it over here to see her at the end.
So where do you live right now?
Chicago.
And when are you moving to Baltimore?
August.
Yeah. Oh, that's really, you're doing it.
I'm here looking at condos. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, welcome to Baltimore. What a great homecoming.
Exactly. It's a good experience. It's only my second time here.
Awesome.
So really
Thank you so much for talking with us. We look forward to seeing you soon. And guys, I should have mentioned the one and only Mr. Trash Will is here as well. He is one of the things that escorted her into the finish line here today. We also had the pirate ship. Of course, you heard the cannons that were out there as well. There's been tons of kayakers. You can see them them right here. The Canton Kayak Club guys came out. They've been with her since, I mean, my goodness, I think it was Fort McHenry that we first saw them here. So a lot of love to be shared for someone who just wanted to show love for the city. And I think that's certainly something that we're feeling here. I don't know if it's because I'm tired. Is it bad to say I'm tired after she just did 24 miles, guys? Mary Kai, a pretty special moment for our city. History made in these waters. Back to you.
Absolutely, Megan. Thank you so much for all your coverage, and congratulations to Katie. Just incredible.
Megan, it's amazing. Baltimore, we have our own Diana Nyad right here.
Yes.